All right, so the Warriors lost game 2 in a really frustrating game. They lost 106 to 101. They should have won this game, but, Memphis, just like last game, they get all the calls from the refs. And they, on multiple occasions, just love injuring our players. They know that they're not good enough to beat us normally, so they have to beat us by intentionally hurting our players. I mean, Gary Payton gets absolutely clotheslined by Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks gets ejected, and I mean, that's not the only instance. Draymond Green, he got swatted in the face. There was just so many instances of Memphis. They know that they can't win normally because they're not a good team compared to us. They just think they can, do all this because they're salty they lost game 1. So they think they can, take over the game by hurting our players. It's not the right way of playing. It's classless. So the Grizzlies won by 5, 106 to 101. I mean, their really only good performance was from Ja Morant. If Ja Morant needs 47 points to beat the Warriors by 5, I mean, that's a little, that's a little frightening. If they need 47 points, which isn't going to happen more than once, I can guarantee you, to just win by 5, they really won by 3. I mean, it came down to the free throws at the end. Warriors had a really good game from Steph Curry, 27 points, but Klay Thompson is not it right now. He missed like 14 shots. He was, 12 points. Klay needs to get his act together. We would have won this game if Klay actually hit some of his shots. Wiggins had a good game with 16. Poole had 20 off the bench. But the Warriors, sloppy in the fourth. I mean, the Warriors would have won this game if they just played smart in the fourth. And, they take too many threes. That's the issue. The Warriors, sometimes, I get they're the three-point shooting legendary team like that. But sometimes you just don't need a 3. They're going to have a much better chance at making a layup than a 3. If you're up by 4... you don't need a 3. Just go for the 2. Like, stack up a lead. They weren't doing that, and as a result, Memphis just kept fighting back. I got to give it to Memphis. I mean, when they weren't hurting our players, they were, sometimes playing good. But I just think overall, the Warriors deserve this win more. The Warriors, in my mind, won this game. When it comes to looking at the stats, the Warriors had, many turnovers. They had 18 turnovers and only lost by 5. If you're a Memphis fan, you should be scared at this point. We're heading back to Chase Center for the next 2 games. Warriors are going to win both. I can almost guarantee you. And if I might sound confident right now, but the fact that the Warriors lost this game amazes me because they had it. They had this game. They had it. I mean, I don't fault the Warriors. I fault, the officiating. I'm not just blaming the refs. I mean, it's blatantly obvious the refs are, just giving Memphis all the calls. You can't touch, Ja Morant without him, flopping and then getting to the free throw line. That's how it is. It's how it's been the first 2 games. This game was, similar to the first game in the sense that it kind of came down to the end and it kind of came down to controversial endings. But, the Warriors should have won this game. Klay needs to get his act together. That's my number 1 suggestion. I think the Warriors need to utilize Kuminga more. I think he played really good. But, seriously, the Warriors need to hit their shots. They weren't making a lot of threes. They were 7 of 38 on threes. It's terrible. Memphis had double the amount of threes as the Warriors. So the Warriors make 5 more threes. They win this game, right? Like, it's ridiculous. That fourth quarter was horrible for the Warriors. Their third quarter was good. They started out slow. I mean, they were down 8-0 to start the game. I mean, like I said, I just think, really, the Warriors lost this game because they beat themselves, right? I mean, Memphis was good. Memphis wasn't good. Ja Morant was good. And as a result, they won that game. I mean, Ja Morant was good. I got to give it to him. 47 points, playoff career high. But where was his supporting cast? I mean, Jaren Jackson fouls out. Jaren Jackson is, a premier flopper. He doesn't really do much, in my opinion. Zaire Williams had 14 points. I mean, it's just so frustrating. It's just really frustrating when the Warriors play, really, I mean, I guess the Warriors played worse in certain moments of this game, like the fourth quarter, but the Warriors overall are the better team. I would admit to Memphis being a better team based on their record if they didn't have to constantly, just go at the Warriors. It's almost like they're admitting they're not as good. They have to injure them to be better. And it's just like, it all goes back to the game 1. They were salty, they lost. And, it's like, if it was an accident, these injury things, I would, let it go. But it's like, it started out with Gary Payton. It started, and then it went to Draymond, and then Poole kept getting banged around, and then Wiggins slapped across the face. It's like, that's our lineup right there, and they're just intentionally injuring them. So, ridiculous. Warriors lose 106 to 101. We're going back to SF for the, next 2 games in this series. I would have liked to be up 2-0, but I'm confident the Warriors are going to finish this thing off in the next 3 games. I don't think Memphis is, they had a good game from Morant, but yeah, nothing else. So let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, go Warriors.